Good morning, stamping friends. It's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping once again for a live class. Thank you for joining me this week. I really appreciate it. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and of course, if you need a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. So today for our class, we are going to be talking about the Shaded Summer stamp set from the annual catalog, and the whole reason we're doing it now is because right now in the Sale-a-Bration Flyer, there is a special die set that goes right along with that Shaded Summer stamp set. And it's called what's it called? Summer Shadows Dies. So we're going to use that. We're also going to use another Sale-a-Bration item, the beautifully penned, what's it called? Beautifully penned paper. And we'll be using that on several cards as well. So a couple of fun Sale-a-Bration items we'll be featuring today. And I just know you're going to love, if you like florals, you're going to love the stamp set. And there's a lot of awesome fonts as well. So before we get started, just a couple of reminders. We do have a Sale-a-Bration going on right now. That goes on through the end of September. And for every $50 or $100 purchase that you make, you can select a free item from that Sale-a-Bration Flyer. If you don't already have one, I can send you one. You can just message me with your address, or you can go to my toocoolstamping.com website, and I have a link there that you can just see the online version and see what the selections are. Also, with the Sale-a-Bration promotion, there is that special for the starter kit. You're going to want that, especially if you want to be a happy discount shopper. If you would like to get 20% off of all of your orders, the best way to do that, the best value, is to purchase that starter kit. I promise you there is no obligation to sell. It is all about happy shopping. And just getting the starter kit is a great value within itself. It's $99. You get to choose up to $125 worth of product. You get free shipping on that order. You get a paper pumpkin kit in your pack. And during Sale-a-Bration only, you can select a free bundle from the Sale-a-Bration Flyer. The bundles are actually, if you look on page 19 of your Sale-a-Bration Flyer, there are there's 12 different bundles that you can choose from. So lots of fun different products that you can get, and they're free. You can choose whichever you want for free with your starter kit. So that is an awesome value within itself. Plus, you're going to get that 20% discount on all your future orders as well. And that is a really fantastic reason to purchase that starter kit. In addition, you're going to get to be a part of my Too Cool team, and I would love to have you on our team. I have lots of hobbyists, lots of people who are doing just what you want to do, just purchase at a discount. And they are loving it. There's lots of perks for being on my team, including some discounts on class kits. I do offer all of my class tutorials for free to my team, and some other perks. You can go on toocoolstamping.com and check on the Join My Team link, and it'll tell you all about the benefits that you'll get. Okay, one more reminder, and that is last week we had the Penguin Place class kit. We had not only the 5-card kit for the week, but we also had the Countdown to Christmas version of that with the 12 cards and all the supplies and all the stamp set and bonus products that go with that. I wanted to just let you know, when I looked on my report this morning, my inventory status report, the Penguin Place bundle with the punch is actually in the low inventory report. So what that means for you is it's still available, but it may go into back order very soon. So if that happens, I don't know how long. We've had some really awful shipping delays for products like dies and punches. So I'm not sure how long that delay will be, but the best way to get around that is to register now. If you're thinking about getting that Countdown to Christmas class with the penguins, you're going to want to register now. I already placed an order this morning when I saw that was low on inventory. So everybody who has already registered, if you registered for a bundle, you have that bundle. I have ordered that and they were still available. I will be placing another order soon. I'm not going to wait until the deadline. The deadline to register is next Tuesday, I believe it is, August 31st. I'll place an order before then just for anyone else who is registered, just to try to secure those. I don't want you to have to wait. So as soon as I can get those on order, I will. So if you do want to get that bundle, register now. You can get all the details on that Countdown to Christmas class kit and the whole series if you go to toocoolstamping.com. Okay, let's flip the camera around and get started on our projects for today. And I know that you're going to love them. So hold on for a minute. Close your eyes if you need to. Sorry, I'm all shaky here. Trying to get it nice and tight because we've had some problems with the camera moving around. We don't like that. All right, let's see if that'll work. So let's get started by showing you what we're going to be playing with today. The first thing is the Shaded Summer Stamp Set. I absolutely love the stamp set. It's kind of a sleeper, if you ask me. There's so many beautiful stamp sets in the annual catalog. This one didn't stand out to me at first, but after we had the dies in the Sale-a-Bration catalog, I started seeing a lot of potential. And one of the things I love is all of the fonts. There's lots, or all of the sentiments with a beautiful font. May the good you do come back to you. Very unique and original. Above and beyond, you go there a lot. I just love that. So it's a little bit different and just really, really pretty. Love you, friend. Happy birthday. Some friendships are just meant to be. Hello, you, and thank you. Lots of great sentiment. So just that alone, I think, makes this a really valuable set. But I love also that these two beautiful images with the flowers are going to coordinate beautifully with the dies as well as the hand-penned, the beautiful, what's it called? Beautifully penned. I keep forgetting the name of it. The beautifully penned paper. So we have the stamp set. We have the Summer Shadows dies. This is a die set that you can get with your Sale-a-Bration selection, and it is on page 13. You do need to place a $100 order in order to get those free dies. But they are so nice because not only do they allow you to cut out both of these lovely floral images, there's also a lot of 2-layer florals in here that are specific to the dies. So we'll be using those on one of our cards. We have some leaves with kind of a solid and then an intricate cut, a large flower with another intricate cut, and then a kind of a profile of a flower with another intricate cut, and another little tiny flower here. So, and I didn't even realize it, but this one cuts this little piece out too. So there's dies for all of the floral images as well as these extra 2-layer intricate dies. Beautiful, beautiful set. Again, you'll get that for free with a $100 order that you place. You can choose that with for your Sale-a-Bration selection. Again, that's on page 13 of the Sale-a-Bration Flyer. Now, the other thing that we're going to be featuring is the beautifully penned designer series paper. That is on page 7. You can receive a pack of that for just a $50 order. So that is one of the selections that you can choose with just a $50 order during Sale-a-Bration only. I love this because everything is black and white. It's kind of gray actually, but it's beautiful, beautiful imagery. On the one side, you have kind of a darker pattern, and then on the other sides, you have more of a contrasting lighter pattern that you can use for backgrounds as well. This one's really pretty to color or just use on its own. And then here's another scalloped one. So some really pretty patterns. There are, in the pack, you get 12 by 12 sheets, and you get 12 sheets, just like a normal pack, only this time you have just the 3 double-sided designs. So you'll get 4 each of the 3 double-sided designs. So we're gonna be using those today on 3 of our cards, and you're gonna love those. Okay, let's get started with our first card. Oh, let me tell you about our class kit. Every week we do a class kit. If you would like to earn that 5-card class kit, you'll just need to place a minimum $35 order at toocoolstamping.com. Just click on the Shop Now link, and place that order. You'll want to be sure to use that host code. Don't forget to use the host code, very important. You'll find that on the checkout page right at the top, right above all the checkout information. And you'll want to put that in, JYZ7YGX6. That's going to let me know that you want the Shaded Summer Class Kit. Okay, let's get started. Our first card today is going to start with a Coastal Cabana card base. It's a traditional card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I have to apologize if you keep hearing sounds in the background. We're having a really heavy rainstorm right now. Occasionally I hear thunder, but it's really just knocking against my windows really loudly. So sometimes I feel like I can't even hear myself. It's so loud. Okay. Next, we're going to use a piece of the beautifully penned paper. This is a 2.5 by 5.5. And we'll just add that to the background. There's just something about using black and white paper. It just really adds a pop of contrast to cards. I just absolutely love it. Next, I have just a little strip here of Bermuda Bay, and it's a half inch by 5.5. And we'll just use some seal on the back of that. Just kind of give it a little finishing edge right there. Okay, next up, I have a piece here that is, let's see, 2 3/4 by 3.5 inch piece of basic white. We're going to take that large floral image from the Shaded Summer stamp set, and we're just going to do some simple stamping with some Memento ink. So you can see I'm kind of squishing it on there. I like doing that instead of just tap, tap. For some reason, it helps the ink really fill in those solid areas very nicely. So I'm going to stamp that. And these are cling stamps, so you don't really need a piercing mat. A lot of times I'll use a piercing mat with photopolymer, but these are the red rubber cling. So here's our focal point. I'm going to color that in with some Stampin' Blends markers. So I have some Bermuda Bay here. I'm actually going to use the lighter Bermuda Bay to color in all of the flowers. And I'm just using the brush tip end. I kind of just do a really light touch like a paintbrush. You don't want to color really hard because you might hurt the nib a little bit. So just a light touch. You don't need much pressure anyway. The color comes out very easily. And I like the wide brush tip because the color, it covers a lot of area really quickly. Next I have dark Mango Melody. We'll use that for the inside flower center. And then finally, some Granny Apple Green. This is light. You could use any green, it's gonna look beautiful here. I just kind of wanted the really bright green. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's assemble that to our card. We're gonna start with another piece here that is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. This is gonna be our background piece, little accent. And I'm gonna put that right here. And then we're gonna pop this one up with some dimensionals. And I can see now that I'm looking at my camera, it's falling again. I don't know what the deal is. My camera keeps slipping. I'm gonna try to fix that in a minute. Hold on. I tried so hard to make sure everything was tightened really well today. All right, sorry about my hand in the way here. There is just hardly any more tightness I can get to that. I apologize. All right, we're gonna try. We'll see what that does. All right, so here's our card so far. We're gonna finish up with a little sentiment, and we're gonna use the little thank you. Stamp that with Memento Black on just a little scrap of Pool Party. And then I'm going to use my double oval punch to punch that out. And I'm going to add that right over here to the side. So I want just a little piece here to have a dimensional right here at the bottom. And the rest is going to have some seal. All right, and then I do have a little piece here of the Pool Party sheer ribbon, and I'm just going to attach that. I just tied a knot, simple knot, and cut it into a little bow shape. We'll put a glue dot behind it and then add that to our flowers, just to give it a little finished touch. And then we're going to finish off with some metallic pearls in silver. So I'm just going to add that right along the side here. Another little shiny element. So here is our first card. So this will be in our 5-card kit. And let me show you another version that I created. I did another one in the pink, as well as with a Melon Mambo strip, the Mango Melody, the Bumblebee gingham ribbon matches just about any color of the yellows, so it goes well with the Mango Melody as well. So I color that the same way. Instead of putting the oval, I just put that right on there. But I love that look as well, and it's fun on the horizontal, so you can really do it either way. So those are the first 2 cards. All right. Next, we will be having a little fun fold. We're going to start with the Gorgeous Grape card base. It's a traditional card base. We have a score at the 4 1/4 mark and also at the 2 1/8 mark. We're going to have a little Z fold action happening. So we'll fold that in half, and then we'll fold that back again on itself. Like so. All right, next up we have a piece of fresh freesia, and I've already textured this. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot the name of this, but this texture is beautiful. Let me find the name real quick. I love that it really goes along with this stamp set and many other stamp sets in the book as well. But that one really looks beautiful. It's called Pretty Flowers. Well, no wonder. The name says it all. Pretty Flowers. It's so true. So this is a 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 inch piece. We're going to put that on a black mat, just a little bit, 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it's going to be 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 for the black mat. All right, next we have just a little piece here of that beautifully penned paper. This is 3 1/2 by 1 inch. just a little accent piece. We'll put that right at the bottom. And then before we add that to our card, I'm going to add a fresh freesia open weave ribbon. And we'll just tie that into a double knot. And we'll trim that off. It'll look like a little faux bow. I like easy bows. So if you like to have the full bow, you could do that, but I just like quick and easy. I'm actually going to put this on the other side, I think. All right. Next, we're going to attach this to our card front, and we just want it to be on that front panel. So we're going to flip this over 180 degrees up and down. That way we know exactly where to put those dimensionals. So we're not securing it closed. We don't like that. And then we'll add that to the card front. I love purple. Purple and teal. You guys probably knew that already, right? Because I make everything in those colors. All right, I'm going to try to do this one more time. I don't know why. I don't know why it keeps falling. Pretty soon it'll just be looking sideways. All right, so next up we will have, I forgot to bring the piece out here, but actually I stamped the same flowers onto a piece of basic white using the Memento black ink, and then I used that Summer Shadows outline die that matches that perfectly to cut it out. And then we're going to just color that in like we did with the other. And every time, you know, I always have to forget things. Hold on one second, I forgot my fresh freesia blends. I try so hard to not forget, but I do every time. It just happens every time. Always something. So this is our light fresh freesia. We're going to color that in just like we did the other one. And I love that we have the dies because you can stamp directly on the focal point like we did the last one. Or this one, we're going to pop it up just a little bit, give it a little bit of dimension. And it just adds a little something to the card. Now this time, just to show you, I'm going to use a little bit of the darker fresh freesia. You don't need to do a lot of shading, but if you just kind of follow some of the shadows that are in the flower. Oh, my lights are flickering now because of the storm, so we'll see if we're going to have lights. Granny apple green light. Can you hear the thunder? I don't know if it's picking it up, but it's getting loud out there. All right, and melody, mango melody. And then we'll pop that up with some dimensionals right over the card front. Let's put one more. Can never have too many dimensionals. You like everything to be stable on there. And we're just gonna kind of put that right there. Beautiful accent. Let's finish up with another sentiment. This time, let's do, a couple of these are gonna work. Either the Some Friendships Are Meant to Be. Let's do Happy Birthday, just for fun. I always need a lot of birthday cards. So I'm gonna stamp that on some basic white scrap. And then we're gonna get that double oval again. This time we're gonna use the scallop version. And pop that up with a couple of dimensionals as well. And then add a couple of see. Let's do them over here. A couple of those silver pearls again. There we go. Beautiful. So this is, every time I look at the camera, it's down more. You guys, this is becoming hysterical. Okay, so this is a nice Z fold. Let me show you what the inside looks like if you decorate it nicely. So you can stamp, I stamp with the alternate floral image and color that in and added another sentiment. And then it is just gonna cover that perfectly. Now remember, when you are adding this middle piece, let me show you how to add that. I have a piece here that I haven't colored in, but I can do the coloring later. So to get that perfectly lined up behind, you're just gonna open it up, put your adhesive on the back, line that up in that with like an 1/8 of an inch edge there. Make sure it's nice and straight, and then just close. And that's gonna make sure that you have your piece directly behind so it's not peeking out. So that is our first card for that pair. And then let me show you. I'm just like, why? Why doesn't this stay up? It's just not gonna do it. Anyway, someday I'm gonna get that fixed again. I had it all fixed and then I messed with it and then it got screwed up. All right, so here's our second version. This one has Misty Moonlight for the card base, Balmy Blue for your background. So I used Balmy Blue for the flowers and everything else is the same. And then used that other sentiment and colored the inside as well. Now the one thing I did different here for the ribbon, I didn't have any ribbon that specifically matched. No problemo. You can use that white crinkled ribbon, and it's a seam binding, and then use your Stampin' Blends markers and just use that brush tip end again and lightly color over the ribbon. And it bleeds right through, so you don't have to do on both sides, but it just really quickly can color your ribbon to any color that you want. So I love that they have this white, and then you can just add whatever color of blends to match your project. So that's what I did for this one. And for this card, we're actually gonna have both versions in the class kit. So you're gonna get that purple and you're gonna get the Misty Moonlight. You'll have all the parts and pieces for making both of those cards in your 5-card kit. I am just gonna give you the white ribbon. And just because if I colored in everybody's ribbon, I would ruin my blend so quickly. You know, if you're just doing a few ribbons at a time, it's great. But when you do many, many, many ribbons, it's gonna, I would have to buy a marker every time. So I have made a decision that I don't color any accessories. It's still gonna look really pretty with that white if you don't have a marker to use to color it in. Or you can always do your flowers in whatever color that you have. It could be pink, it could be an orange, a pretty, you know, pastel peachy color, whatever it is, and then you can match your ribbon to that. So you'll get enough pieces in your card kit to make both of those. Okay, next up. I'm like, seriously, this has got to stop. Okay, I apologize. This just makes me crazy when something like that happens. All right, next up we're using the Pale Papaya as our card base. Just a traditional card size, folded in half. We're going to use the smaller floral with the Pale Papaya ink to make a background that is all stamped in that beautiful floral. So I just kind of start in the middle and work my way out to the edge. Fill in some little spots here. And then we have the whole background covered. Pretty. Just use the same color ink to make it a tone on tone. And then I have a piece of Sahara sand, and this is a 5.25 by 1. And I have already textured it with that timber embossing folder. That's in the mini catalog. I hope that one carries over because that is beautiful. And it's just always good to have a wood grain of some sort in your collection for sure. All right, we'll put that right at the bottom. Next up, I have some more of that open weave ribbon. This time in the pale papaya. Again, we're gonna just tie that in a double knot. And trim. Scoot that over to the edge here. All right, let's work on our focal point. So we're gonna use, again, that great big floral stamp. We need to give it clean it up a little bit. So I have my Simply Chamois here. And again, just like I do with the Memento black pad, squish, 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 that's what I'm doing here on the Simply Chamois. I'm gonna kind of go around the edges too, make sure I get all of that black off. And this time when we're coloring, we're gonna use Stampin' Write markers. So to color before, we use Stampin' Blends. That's the alcohol-based markers that blend really easily. And then these are the water-based markers that, and we're using all of the new in colors. So you can just get the in color pack of 5. I think it's $15 for all of those. And we're gonna use, again, the brush tip end, and we're gonna color directly on our stamp. So I'm gonna take that brush tip and just like a paintbrush, really lightly color over one of the flowers up here. I'm gonna color the larger flower. And it should fill in pretty quickly. Then we're gonna use that pale papaya for this little bud up here, as well as this flower down here. And then we'll end with the soft succulent, and we're gonna fill in all of the stems and the leaves. It takes just a little extra time for this, but you have such a cool result that it is worth it. I love it. So this is what, hopefully you can see that. Everything is all nicely inked up. If you have a larger stamp like this, before you ink it up or before you stamp it down on your paper, you might want to huff on it just a little bit. Kind of rejuvenates that ink again. And this is just a scrap paper of basic white. So you can see this is a fun way to get a multicolored image with just your markers and the stamp. So much fun. I used that same die, so I've already done this and I've die cut it out. And we're going to create a little focal point here. So I have a layering circles basic white die cut, as well as a polished pink scalloped circle die. And we're going to use that happy birthday stamp again. Let's clean that up. Get the black off of it. This time we're going to stamp with gray granite. And we'll do it right up the top of this circle. We'll add that to our scallop circle. We'll add this to our card front. You could pop this up if you wanted to. I'm just going to add it directly with seal, and then we'll pop up the flowers. And I just love that the dies make it so easy that you can use those flowers anywhere, position them anywhere. And I don't really like this little tail of a stem hanging out there that long, so I'm just going to cut just a little bit. I just want it to hang over a little bit. So I cut some of that off. And then let's finish up with some, these are some of the genial gems. And there's the pale papaya color, as well as soft succulent. So you could use soft succulent if you wanted to. So there we go. Just really pretty. Flippity flip, flip this stupid camera back up there. But this is a really fun way to do that multicolored look. And I love that background. Just gives it a nice subtle texture. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let me show you the other version. This time I did soft succulent as the background. I did the flowers in the same polished pink and fresh freesia, the same Sahara sand, the soft succulent open weave ribbon, soft succulent for the background. And this time I wanted to use a larger sentiment that didn't quite fit on that circle, so I used the Hippo and Friends dies, and then I used the Above and Beyond, You Go There a Lot sentiment in gray granite. And again, the genial gems, we use those soft succulent versions on this one. So this one will be the one in your card kit. So now, is my camera going the opposite direction? All right, one more. Can we get through one more without more technical difficulties? All right. This is one of my favorites because we're going to use those dies from the Shaded Summer die set from the Sale-a-Bration catalog. We're going to start with, what is this? This is Petal Pink, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I have another piece of the beautifully penned paper, and this just goes with those petals so beautifully. And that's going to go right at the top of this piece. So it's 4 by 4. Okay, next up, I have a 3 1/4. Let me make sure that's right. 3 1/4 square of basic white. I'm going to clean our smaller floral image up, and we're going to use that with some Pear Pizzazz. Just stamp one little corner in that, and then I'm going to use the smaller little leafy image a few times just to make those leaves extend a little further. And then we're going to adhere that to a 3 3/8 inch square of Mango Melody. And we're going to put that right on our piece again. You could pop this up if you wanted to. The post office doesn't always like it when you pop it up 2 times. So I like to not make it too tall. Hey, speaking of the post office, let me just give you a little PSA. If you guys send a lot of cards, don't forget there's a price increase coming up on the 29th. So just 2 days away. We're going from a 55-cent stamp to a 58-cent stamp for first class. So make sure you go and get some Forever stamps. When I went to my local post office, they were about out. They had like really ugly stamps left. But I definitely would stock up on those because the Forever stamps can be used with any denomination once you purchase them. So don't forget to do that. It's just a couple of days away. Okay. Then I used my Shaded Summer dies, all of these beautiful pairs, to create the light and dark versions of the 2 layers of dies. So you're going to have a Pear Pizzazz solid leaf, and then you have the Old Olive that goes on top of it. You have a Pale Papaya solid bloom, and then a Mango Melody that goes on top, and then the Petal Pink with Flirty Flamingo that goes on top. So you'll have all 3 of those. I'm going to get my little silicone mat out to do some adhering. I love this easy way to add adhesive to these more intricate pieces. If you want to just do a little dot, 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 you know, a little dab, you can. But let me get a scrap paper. So I just put a little bit of adhesive right on my silicone mat. I have a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm just gonna dab. You don't need a lot, just a little bit of that adhesive. And these do match up perfectly. So I was looking at this little scallop right here at the top, matches this little scallop. There is quite a storm going on. I don't know if you can hear it, but boy, oh boy. So there's one flower. We'll set that aside. Get a little bit more of our adhesive. Very light dab, just a little bit. Line those up. And then finally with our leaves, and add those. So pretty. I love that double layer, a little bit of extra texture there. And the nice thing about that silicone mat, when your adhesive is dry, I have some on the back here from a previous thing. You can just use your fingers and just roll it right off, and it's clean, ready to go. Okay, so let's add those to our card front. I'm going to start with this one. Just a little bit of seal. So we're covering up one of those big flowers in the background. A little seal on there. We're going to just kind of pick that up a little bit. Cover up the rest of that, and then our leaves will go on last, and we'll tuck that under as well. Like so. Really pretty. All right, so there's our focal point. Let's add a sentiment. This is going to be in basic gray, and I'm going to do, "May the good you do come back to you." We'll just put that right on the bottom here. Beautiful. And then what do we need? What do we normally do? We have to add in our ribbon and our little bit of bling. So we have, this is the Flirty Flamingo metallic ribbon. I love this ribbon. So pretty, sparkly. Make it go around that card front. into a double knot, easy peasy. And trim. We're going to make this go over to the side over here. And then one last part, we're going to get the opal rounds and just add those to the centers of our flowers for just a little bit of extra sparkle. So there is our final card. I love that look. You can see you don't really need dimensionals here because everything has a lot of texture and layers to it. Really, really pretty. I did another version this time, and I really love this one. This one is in Pool Party, and use that same beautifully penned floral background. I used Pool Party with Coastal Cabana. I used So Saffron and Bumblebee, and then again Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive for my contrasting colors, or my two-tone colors. And then that Bumblebee ribbon looks beautiful on there as well. So those are two cool versions of that one. So let's show you everything that you're going to get in your 5-card kit. Whoops. You're going to get both of those two. This one, this first one that we did, and where's my other one? Here we go. And then this one as well. So these are the 5 cards that you're going to receive. With your 5-card kit, you'll get all the parts and pieces to create those. Anything that is stamped and then die cut, I'm just going to give you the scrap paper because it's just too hard to stamp on a die cut, and I'm not allowed to do stamping for you per the Stampin' Up policy. So you'll get a scrap piece of paper for that, but everything else is going to be already pre-punched, pre-embossed, and ready to go, pre-die cut for your circle, pre-embossed for the little accents, and you'll have all of the beautiful papers as well. You'll get all of these die cuts ready to go, so you just have to adhere those together. And then you just need to add the stamps, inks, and adhesives. So you won't need any dies for those, but you're gonna want to get those. Don't forget, you can get those shaded summer dies. Sorry, summer, I keep forgetting the name of it. Let's find out again. Summer Shadows dies. You can get that with a $100 purchase. And that can be your free selection from the Sale-a-Bration Flyer. Remember, that goes through September 30th. And then if you want the hand-penned, it's actually beautifully penned designer series paper, you can get that for an additional $50 order. You can select that for free during Sale-a-Bration as well. Don't forget, when you're placing your order, you need to have at least a $35 order. Place it at my online store. You can get to that at toocoolstamping.com and click on the Shop Now link. And then the host code that you'll want to use on the checkout page, JYZ7YGX6. So that will tell me that you would like to have the Shaded Summer 5-card kit. All right, this is going to be available until next Wednesday. Is that September already? September 1st. You guys, where is the summer going? So we just snuck the Shaded Summer stamp set in barely before summer's over, right? So that's going to last. You can get that by earning with an order by September 1st. And then I'll mail those out the following Tuesday, I guess, because it'll be Labor Day weekend. So it'll be the following Tuesday that those will go out in the mail to you. All right, you guys, I hope that you've enjoyed these beautiful cards. I hope you have fun making them if you decide to purchase. And I really thank you for spending some time with me today. Until next time, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Bye-bye.